In this video, we are going to talk about the essential and the future skills required for food technologists. Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Areeb Irshad and you are watching Food Tech Simplified, and today we are going to talk about the skills required, the essential skills, and what are the skills that are going to be in demand for the food science and technology graduates. So the information that I have collected about this video is based out of an article that is titled "A Guide for the Food Industry to Meet the Future Skills Requirements Emerging with Industry 4.0." And this is, the authors of this articles are based in Spain, but I believe that these are the skills that are going to be relevant for Indian subcontinent as well, and probably for the the things that I'm going to talk about in this video, the skills that I'm going to mention are going to be applicable at a global level as well. So before I talk about the skills specifically, let me talk about the industrial ages and what were the phases, so that you have an understanding that what is specifically 4.0 and why are we calling it the fourth phase right now. In the phase 1 of industrial age, in the late 18th century, steam-powered engines were developed. That was the first time when scale and efficiency of production was increased. In the second phase, electricity was the main contributor. We started to see machines and engines now being operated on electricity. In the third phase, electronic devices like transistors and ICs, that is integrated chips, which made the manufacturing process more efficient and accurate while replacing some manual labor. And the fourth age, or the fourth phase, now this is the age of internet, which has revolutionized the way we do things. The need for manual labor has reduced drastically during this age because of automation. The article also mentions, and I'm quoting, that due to advanced robotics technology, simple and monotonous tasks will be taken by collaborative robotic systems, while operators carry out more qualified work and make critical decisions. I will also link this article down in the description. You can check it out for yourself. But what it's saying basically is that we are going to see more automation even in India. I mean, although we are currently, food industry is an unorganized sector. Most of it is unorganized, but we are going to see automation with the passing time. In general, the job profiles will be demanded to carry out tasks with a much broader scope. Therefore, the workers will be expected to have a wider knowledge and expertise in several subjects. What this essentially means is that you are not just expected to have knowledge or understanding about food safety or food legislation or anything that is connected with food, but you will also need to know that how the industry works, how the business works, and what are the different factors that come into play when you are working. So you just don't have to be focused on food science and food technology. Try to understand that how does a food industry operate, what are the different functions that are carried out in the industry. The article also mentions that higher cognitive skills such as creativity, critical thinking, teamwork, problem solving, decision making, lifelong learning, and so on will become very crucial. Now, these are some of the skills that you can count them as interpersonal skills, and we are going to dive deep a little bit about interpersonal skills and different things as well. But the demand for the interpersonal skills is going to increase, and this article has illustrated and talked multiple times about different things like teamwork, collaboration, decision making, initiative, if a person is taking initiative or not, if someone is perpetual learner or not. So these interpersonal skills are going to matter even more right now in the fourth phase of the industrial age. All right, let me pick up my notebook where I have written the skills, and let me talk about the essential knowledge that is required, and then I will talk about what are the skills. So the essential knowledge is, apart from the domain. For example, if you want to go and work in an alcohol factory, maybe you want to work in Carlsberg. So it is a prerequisite that you need to understand that how alcohol is manufactured. You need to know what are the raw materials required. You need to know everything about the process. Maybe there's yeast involved, so you need to know that what kind of yeast is required. You need to know that how fermentation takes place. If fermentation is taking place, then what are the equipment required in the food industry or in the food plant specifically? Maybe a fermenter is required, obviously, and how blending takes place, how long it takes to complete one batch, or how long does it take for the ripening, what are the defects that can occur in the alcohol. So from A to Z, from everything about your domain where you want to go. If you have decided that I want to go in a specific domain, maybe you want to go in snacks, let's say, I took the example of Carlsberg. Maybe you want to go in the snacks industry. Maybe you want to work in the Haldiram, let's say. So over there, let's say you are interested to work at extruder line. So maybe you need to, not maybe, but obviously you need to understand that how does an extruder work, what is the extrusion process, what are the raw materials, how long does it take, and if something goes wrong, that what are the troubleshooting steps. So you need to understand A to Z of the equipment if you are going for the production job. But if you are going in a lab or maybe quality department, then you need to know that what are the experiments that are conducted, or how will you assess the nutritional quality. You need to know about toxicity, and you need to know about legislation, about the FSSAI rules or the RDA basically. So anything that is domain specific, what I essentially mean, anything that is domain specific. You are going in the food and beverage industry, so you need to make sure that you know A to Z of the food and beverage industry. Maybe you are going in the Coca-Cola, so make sure you know that what is going on. I mean, obviously you cannot know what is going on in the industry before going in there, but you can definitely study at your own level that what is beverage, how is it processed, how is it manufactured, what is the type of sugar that is being used, and what are the equipment that will be used, or what are the tests being conducted in the quality assurance lab of Coca-Cola company or a plant. So you have to do a little bit of research about that, because the food industry in itself is a huge industry and there are a lot of subdomains. There's snacks, there's beverages, there's alcohol, I forgot, fruits and vegetables, meat, poultry, seafood, and so on. So there are a lot of subdomains and you have to pay close attention where you want to go in. So there will be domain specific knowledge, number one. Apart from that, apart from domain specific knowledge, what else is there? Food safety principles. You need to understand that what are the food safety principles. Basically everything that is covered under food safety. Food safety must be a subject if you are pursuing BSc, MSc, BTech, MTech. Food safety must be a subject, so make sure your basics are completely clear. Also, you need to have a very good understanding about the food safety regulations or the standards. Again, if you are watching this in some other country, you are not watching this in India, make sure you check that what is the regulatory authority which decides the rules and regulations. But for India, if we talk about India, it's FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. You can also check out their website, fssai.gov.in. They have every update, they have every regulation. Go through their guidance notes as well, because you will gain a lot of knowledge. Their website is a amazing resource if you want to know about legislation, about regulations related to food safety. You can also check out their YouTube channel, because I was operating their YouTube channel for a brief time in 2019-2020. So I know that there are a lot of videos over there about food safety, and there are a lot of lectures delivered by a lot of experts from NIFTIM, from Delhi University, professors from Delhi University, and about Codex as well. So they have a lot of amazing knowledge, and this is just out there on their channel, on their website. You just have to go there and just do a little bit of effort, do a little bit of research, and you will be able to know that what is food safety all about and what are their standards and regulations. The next is quality assurance methodologies. Now, although you can study this from your textbooks, but this is also going to vary from industry to industry. Maybe you're going to work in Nestle, so they might have some different testing protocols. Or if you are working in Haldiram's, maybe they have some different testing protocols or different ways to assess quality. So you don't have to worry about what is the company criteria or not, because whenever you go in the factory or whenever you go in their lab, they are going to teach you. They have a teaching module or they have a training program through which they teach you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the company specific methodologies, but from your own end, you should know that what are the basic tests that are required to assess the quality. So how are you going to know? So the best possible resource is food safety analysis. There's a book, Food Analysis by Suzanne Nielsen. But first of all, before you go and check out Suzanne Nielsen's food analysis book, first of all, check out FSSAI's website and understand that what are the tests required at our country level, at our own country level. Understand that what are the tests being done for different foods, different fruits and vegetables, and different food products. So that will be really helpful for you as well. If you are not able to find the link for the different manuals, just go to Google and type that fruits and vegetables space testing manual space FSSAI, and you will be able to get the manual as well. For fruits and vegetables, for milk and milk products, there's also a manual. For spices, there's a manual. So for general food products, you will be able to find the testing manuals on FSSAI's website. And now let us talk about the current essential skills that are required in the food industry. So if you're going for a production sector job, you need to know that how to apply HACCP. HACCP is a preventative tool. We have a video, but if you want an in-depth video on HACCP, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to make a separate video on HACCP once again, because the previous video was very brief and it wasn't very in-depth video. So let me know. Apart from that, you need to know that how to apply GMP and GHP, good manufacturing practices and good hygiene practices. So you must have the knowledge and you should know that how to apply these skills. Other skills are analyze requirements of process, cost minimization or efficiency, and process optimization. For food safety department, you need to know that what are the food safety standards. You need to know food safety management system. You should know how to develop food safety programs. You should know how to maintain personal hygiene standards and reports. And you should also know how to maintain sanitation standards and their reports. For a job in food quality department, or if you are going for a job of a food analyst, or maybe you are going to work in a lab, then what are the skills? The skills are good laboratory practices, good manufacturing practices, analysis of characteristics of food products at reception, analysis of food and beverage samples, assessment of nutritional characteristics of food, calibrate lab equipment, collect samples for analysis. Let's talk about what are the future skills, because obviously it will matter that what are the skills that you have to keep in mind, or maybe start working on them from now on, because in some industries they're already in demand, and in the future I am expecting as well that they will be in demand and they are going to be mainstream as well. So let me mention that what are the future skills required in the food industry. Advanced communication and negotiation skills, leadership and management, adaptability, continuous learning, critical thinking, decision making, active listening, interpersonal skills and empathy, creativity, digital skills, cybersecurity, traceability, Internet of Things, or also known as IoT, manufacturing execution system, also known as MES, cloud computing, big data, machine learning, deep learning, and sensors technology. Now that I have mentioned these skills, the future skills and the essential skills, a lot of students are going to ask me that what are the certificate courses required, or what is a certificate course that I have to pursue so that I master that specific skill that you have mentioned in this specific video. So before answering that, let me tell you that having a certificate course or having a certificate basically does not mean that you have mastered a skill. These are two different things. Mastering a skill is a different thing, and having a certificate course sitting in your resume is a completely different thing. You could be paying some money like 1,000, 2,000 or 10,000 rupees maybe, and you could be just absorbing the information passively, and that is of no use, because obviously skill means that you are putting things into practice, putting knowledge into practice. Then that is called a skill. Okay, knowledge is something that you have in your mind, but when you put that knowledge into action, when you use that knowledge to make something or do something with it, then you master a skill. So there's a difference. When we say that you should have mastered these skills, then it means that you should have actually applied the HACCP principle. You should have actually tested or assessed the nutritional quality of food. If you are just studying about assessing nutritional quality and you haven't done it or you haven't performed it, then we won't call it that you have a skill. We will actually call that you have the knowledge of that concept. Now I do understand that there are some skills. For example, I did mention in this video that you should know how to apply HACCP, or you should know how to apply GMP or GHP. And maybe in some cases you will also know that how to operate an equipment. Let's say that there's a job and you need to know that how to operate extruder, but your university doesn't have an extruder. You haven't encountered extruder in your real life. So how are you going to do that? We cannot, or the industry should not expect from you that you should have the knowledge of how to operate an equipment, because a lot of times the industries or a food factory is going to teach you, they have some training modules where they teach you that how to test the quality or how to operate the equipment or how to conduct this specific process or how to sustain a specific system. So for some classic jobs like food production engineer or food safety specialist or maybe quality manager or food analyst, there are some manuals or some training modules that are provided to the employees whenever they join the company. Okay, so you don't have to worry about each and every specific skill that I have mentioned in the video, because the chances are your university won't be able to teach them, and the chances are that you cannot understand them or you cannot practice them when you are sitting at home, because they require equipment. Maybe they require operating an equipment, maybe they require you to be actually present in the food plant, or you to be actually present in the food lab. Also, we are going through a lockdown once again, unfortunately, so we cannot expect that you are going to understand that how to operate an equipment or how to conduct an experiment, because you are probably staying at home. So what are you going to do? What is the solution for that? So for that, I have simplified the skills that I mentioned in the video into 3 categories. Okay, so because it's food tech simplified, and if we don't simplify, then there's no point. So I have simplified the entire skills into 3 categories. The first is digital skills. For the sake of simplicity, I am calling it digital. Obviously, this is not technically correct. This is not supposed to be technically correct. I'm just doing this for simplification. The second category is the food industry skills, or let's call that food skills. Okay. The third is the interpersonal skills. Okay, so let us talk about the digital skills. What do I mean by digital skills? Anything that is required with computer. Why am I picking up my mouse? Anything that is required, anything that is connected with computer or digital, or maybe it requires a little bit of coding, anything that requires technology involved or digital skills involved. So like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, cloud computing, big data, IoT, or also known as Internet of Things, cybersecurity, or you can also say traceability, maybe that will be included in this digital skills as well. So if you want to understand these skills, you can go on internet, you can go on Google, on YouTube, and you can just type artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, and you will definitely get a lot of videos and a lot of lectures. Currently the knowledge is free. You can go to Google, there are a lot of blogs. You can definitely find thousands of blogs, but just in case maybe you are trying to build your resume as well, and there's nothing to show in your resume, maybe you want a certificate course, you can definitely check out edX.org, you can check out Coursera.org, and you can type in artificial intelligence, machine learning. Why I'm saying that? Because from edX and Coursera, I believe that they have the mastery in these specific segments like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all that stuff. Apart from that, because I believe the courses are a little bit expensive over there as well, so maybe you want to do it for cheap, at a cheap rate, then you can go for Udemy. Okay, you can definitely check out Udemy. The course fees is going to range from 400 to 600 rupees. Usually it's 400-500 rupees. So you can definitely check out Udemy if you want to do it at cheaper rate. Now let's talk about the food skills or the food specific skills. So apart from the domain knowledge, what are you going to do? There's HACCP. Okay, the HACCP principle. There's FOSTAC course that is conducted by FSSI, not exactly conducted by FSSI. There are third parties which also conduct FOSTAC course. There's ISO 9001, ISO 14001. So there's ISO 22000. There's food safety management system. So these are some of the courses that students usually do, and I usually recommend if they are specifically looking to master the food skills. What you can do, you can go, or you can take the certificate courses from SGS India. You can take the certificate courses from Intertech, TUV, DNVGL, or you can also check out Udemy. Some of the courses like HACCP is also available on Udemy. Maybe you are trying to do it at a cheaper rate, then you can definitely check out Udemy as well. Now let's talk about the interpersonal skills, and this is something that I have been looking forward to talk about with you personally. So the interpersonal skills that can be mastered through books. You can go on Amazon. For example, I mentioned in this video that there are some skills like communication skills, negotiation skills, leadership, management, collaboration, teamwork, creativity, cognitive skills. So how are you going to master them? So there are a lot of books. There are a ton of books on Amazon. You can check out Amazon, just type in communication skills and all, or you can also go on YouTube. There are a lot of videos as well. Apart from that, I have started a small initiative. I have started my email newsletter where I am going to share one practical tip on communication skill or personal branding, or the insights that I have gained from multiple books that I have read in the last few years. Okay, so I usually share that weekly email on Thursday. You are going to receive an email on Thursday, every Thursday, and that will have a few tips, maybe 1 or 2 tips on communication skills, personal branding, and all that stuff. So if in case you are interested, I have left a link down in the description. You can check that out. You can sign up for free for that newsletter, and you will start receiving an email once in every week. about how to improve your communication skills, practical tips on how to improve your communication skills, and a lot of things related to interpersonal skills and things related to the stuff that I am personally working on, and the things that I haven't revealed. There are some personal projects that I also work on, so maybe I'm going to reveal that as well in the newsletter. So you can sign up for that. The link is in the description. So these were some of the current skills required in the food industry and some of the future skills that are going to be required. Is that grammatically correct? I don't know. So they are going to be in demand in the future. So have some kind of knowledge, not necessarily a certificate course, as I already mentioned. The knowledge and the applicability is more important than just having the certificate course. If you like the video, how am I going to know that you actually like the video? How am I going to know that this video actually added some kind of value to your life? Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you share this video with your colleagues, with your batchmates, so that they can get some help from this video. And since we are in a lockdown again, this video is again relevant right now. So make sure you check out this video. I'll see you next time. Class dismissed.